episode.
It's a packed episode, even more of a packed season. Hey everyone, we're here to review WandaVision, the MCU's latest endeavor. I'm Christian and I got here Ray, Emily, and John.
What's going on, guys? We're reviewing WandaVision. That's my favorite Marvel opener at this point.
That's one takeaway
so creative
from this entire show. I loved all of the theme songs they've done.
Yeah, totally. I mean, you got the movies and it's really just the Marvel opening. This one's like a theme song. I just like the fact that they start utilizing it's literally an homage to sitcoms, so they use the laughing tracks, a couple of jingles here and there, and it's just like it didn't play off like a regular Marvel
TV or
thing.
Movie thing.
TV thing, yeah.
Let's get right into it. Emily,
Yes.
Thoughts?
I have a lot.
It's mostly gonna be about Quicksilver, probably.
Okay, look.
Yeah.
I'm a X-Men fan. No one can take that away from me, so. But I'll go away from that. This show, I think, is beautiful. I think their way of showing grief, beautiful. Just focusing on her, God, yes. I just want good things for Wanda. She deserves it. A lot of parallels, though, because, once again, I love X-Men. A lot of parallels between her and Magneto. I know she's no longer his child, but there were a lot. Just saying.
To me, I'll always, quick tangent. When they try to retcon that in the comics, I thought that was absolute BS.
Mm-hmm.
She will always be Magneto's kid.
They only did that in 2012 when they know they didn't have the rights to mutants.
Exactly. Now they could just be like, forget that out. So, ladies and gentlemen, right off the gate, we're going to just dive straight into this. This show was a passion project of Marvel to give tribute to classic American sitcom eras. And, in the beginning, people were like, what's going on with this show? It's too slow, yada yada. But personally, looking back on it, I think the first 2 episodes are very rewatchable because they only slightly give hints to the bigger picture of the show. And I personally really love I Love Lucy and Bewitched. I used to watch them when I was a kid, and after those episodes, I was like, yo, I'm going straight into it. I watched that, Mork and Mindy. It was great. I love that it's such a conversational point to talk about those types of TV shows again.
I mean, if given the chance to watch I Love Lucy, from ever since the first episode, then I can. I just need the time for it. But I will admit, the first through 3rd, I believe, show,
Right.
I took it for what it was, and that was literally just hey, we're going to recreate these old these old sitcoms. So I took it like that. So it was good for what it was. And then you got to parts where where you start hinting at oh shoot, there's some sinister shit going around. Stop it.
And she's from that 70s show, by the way. Awesome cast.
Oh yeah, no, great woman, actually.
But anyways, WandaVision overall was incredible. And the best part about this show was that they tied in the homages to sitcom TV as a thematic sense to be escapism matters.
Yeah.
And Wanda's grief, she wanted to escape from it through the use of entertainment. So it's literally just a way to say, entertainment can help.
Yeah, I think it's very relatable.
This whole show can be summarized in that one Vision quote. But what is grief? But not love, persevering.
Exactly.
What is it, John?
I thought it was good. It was very formulaic at times.
Mm-hmm.
Since it's an MCU thing, I think they probably have to. But when it did stray away from that MCU formula, I think that's when it was at its best. In the beginning of the show when it had that old sitcom vibe, and then those weird moments where you're wait, what's going on here?
Yeah, I agree about the formulaic thing. It was very evident in the later episodes, specifically the finale.
Boys, handle the military. Mommy will be right back.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like I think the MCU formulaic aspect was more prevalent towards the end of the show, especially the last episode. I think toward the beginning of the show didn't have that problem as much, but it just got worse and worse as the show went on. It was still good, but
In the end, I was really in love with the show. I was about to give it like a 10 out of 10. But that finale, my problem with the finale was the fact that it was kind of rushed only for the side characters. I felt as if their resolution was very condensed, more than it should have been. Like Darcy showed up for 12 seconds. I don't know when I'm ever going to see Kat Dennings again. I can't go another 7 years without seeing Kat Dennings come back.
To be fair, though, part of the show, I think the finale episode was when they had to come back during COVID, and that's why like Darcy specifically, she's only there for that one scene. It's probably because that was all they could get her for. I'm not like excusing like the whole thing, but yeah, I think her filming it probably had something to do with COVID.
And then like Monica, her powers are cool and her introduction of the powers are cool, and she did do something in the finale, but I feel as if I wanted like an action scene for her, not her being a shield.
yeah, towards the end of the show, I was like, is Monica just there to set up Doctor Strange? Not Doctor Strange.
That's what I'm saying.
Captain Marvel too.
Okay,
Yeah.
now I see what you mean.
I thought they were setting up very nice, and then like again, like a lot of the side characters, they just like Director Hayward. It's kind of like a cartoony villain in there.
Yeah, when he just like shoots the kids, I was like, what are you doing, man? Like,
That was so like it took me out.
If anything, if anybody was gonna have a big reveal towards the end, I thought it was gonna be him. Gonna be like, oh, I'm also this guy, or like to get a hint that he's going to be something else. A lot of people were comparing him to, if you watch Days of Future Past, it was Peter Dinklage, his character.
Oliver Trask.
Yeah, who creates the Sentinels. They're like, oh.
But Oliver Trask was better because he didn't hate mutants. He just was really into studying them.
Yeah.
Found them fascinating. But here's just a dick.
I know.
I didn't get it. I was like, what? Because he was like somewhat like normal, like in the beginning.
It made no sense.
I mean, granted, he shot missiles at kids, so I should have seen this coming.
But it made no
Still,
sense.
in broad
because of
daylight.
He's a part of SWORD.
Yeah, exactly. What the hell? It reminded me of Ready Player One. Remember that scene in that movie with Ben Mendelsohn? He tries to shoot Ty Sheridan in broad daylight.
oh yeah.
What the hell?
Yeah, it was a very cartoony villain.
Yeah, I just didn't get it. It
Look,
didn't match up.
they
with it.
couldn't land two villains.
Well, okay, I just want to say that I literally just watched this for Wanda and Vision. So, like, any other character besides them is just a side character to me. Except for the villain. We'll talk about that later.
To me, like the highs, 90% of the highs outweigh the not even bad, just like questionable aspects of the show. Because all my problems are from the finale. Like, I have no qualms at all with any of the other episodes. My personal favorite is the penultimate episode, the origin story of Wanda.
Yeah, like I think the show was at its best when it was developing Wanda's character. And then I think the show's at its worst when it was trying to set up other things. Like, Captain Marvel 2, Doctor Strange, probably X-Men, but that's kind of questionable. And then with all these fan theories, maybe they're setting up Fantastic Four. Who knows? I think that was another problem with the show. It's not necessarily the show's fault, but I think since it came out on a weekly basis, everyone just went wild with the fan theories. And I think a lot of people were probably disappointed with the finale because they thought all this stuff was going to happen. And then, it didn't happen.
Marvel. They don't put things in their movies for no reason. Everything has a payoff. So, with the first episode, there was the opening sequence where there was Mephisto's, his helmet. Like the curved, horns.
You mean the Grim Reaper?
Grim Reaper, sorry, whoops.
Yeah.
but like that was there.
Mhm.
Like there
I
were,
thought that was so cool.
yeah, like it. Don't get me wrong, like those little like nuggets in there, great. But in the show, nothing paid off with that.
Mhm.
So it was a little, for some fans, it was a little frustrating because you're just like,
Yeah.
I knew this stuff. I knew what this were relating to. Nothing.
I feel as if MCU fans are just a little spoiled.
Yes.
And I get it.
Yeah. Well, see, I think the problem is it's like if Phase 4 of the MCU is like a book, then WandaVision's the prologue of that book. So they're not gonna tell you everything that's gonna happen in Phase 4.
Yeah.
But like, so they'll give you these little nuggets. And I think people are they're hoping for more of a payoff, but they're not gonna show all their cards at the beginning.
I think they forget it's the beginning.
And if this shows any indication, then I think Phase 4 will have a lot of emphasis on Wanda.
Oh, totally. She totally deserves it.
Yeah. I mean, if she's going to be the most powerful person in the MCU, then,
Right.
you know.
Can we talk about how stupid the casting of M. Peters was for a fucking penis joke?
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, it's really dumb. But who knows? We might come back to him. But if we do, when?
That's what I'm saying.
I
When?
don't see
Yep.
that. I don't see that working out in any of the future movies.
I was like, is that gonna happen in Ant-Man?
Yeah.
Or I think they rumored that there's going to be an X-Men movie. The Mutants.
What, like a surprise one?
Yeah. No, they said it's like rumored that they're going to do an X-Men movie. And it's going to be called The Mutants.
The Mutant?
Yeah. Because I guess that's what the original title for X-Men was back when they created the comic.
Oh, wow. That'd be cool. Well, they can't title it New Mutant?
Now it's already taken.
You know what? Even if that's not what they're planning, the best thing Marvel is good at is listening to fans. And after this, yeah, we're gonna see him again.
No, I know. Because I'm like, everybody's so mad about it. And I'm like, because it was the number one thing that took everybody out.
You know, what you thought was gonna happen didn't. And it's kind of very similar to the Mandarin twist in Iron Man 3, but maybe not really. I think Kevin Feige is smart. I don't think they're gonna just get rid of him that easily. Quicksilver, he was cool, but that finale really shook a lot of people.
Yeah, I think that's the problem with this show, just being set up for a lot of other things that you're not gonna get all your questions answered, and you're not gonna have that satisfying resolution you want.
So again, back to side characters being side characters. Again, if it wasn't Wanda and Vision, then that's just those guys are those guys to me. Now, I saw this coming. All right. Yes, I was excited for the fact that it's Fox, right? Fox and Disney merger. The fact that we get to see Quicksilver, Evan Peters in the MCU. I was excited about that. But I also did think that was not going to happen either. So, again, it's out in the open still. Like, maybe they are going to do multiverse stuff, and maybe what's his name, Ralph Boner?
Yeah.
Maybe he is in the multiverse.
Yeah. The thing is, right after that episode where he's revealed, I immediately watched X-Men Days of Future Past again.
Exactly.
I was so hyped. And my hype has not died a lot, but it's more of like confused. It's like, if this is the last time we see him, what a disappointment, but I don't think that's true.
I'm just going to assume that they will make a movie with Quicksilver in it, and they're going to merge that with Avengers. So just be excited about it, And speaking of setting up, I have never been more excited for the magic side of superheroes. I think I've mentioned this a lot already. Okay, but you have no idea how excited I am for Doctor Strange 2.
Multiverse of Madness, baby.
Yeah, Multiverse of Madness. The fact that Elizabeth Olsen is now called the Scarlet Witch.
Oh man.
This is why I kind of liked Agatha. I mean, I know her reveal was kind of shocking, and I feel like they could do a lot more with her instead of just a brief Salem witch trial backstory flashback. But at the same time, it's just It's really cool, actually. I don't know.
Oh, I love her.
It's been Agatha all along. And I killed Sparky too.
I was hoping that she wouldn't just be the villain of the show.
Me too.
Like I was hoping she'd more be like kind of a friend to Wanda. But I guess that could happen later on. But yeah.
I was upset because like obviously they can steer away from the comics, but Agatha helps Wanda. They're like friends. She sees her as her daughter.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, and this is also the feminist in me, that I'm like, why did you have to make them against each other? They could have helped each other. They I have feelings.
Well, they didn't kill her.
I know,
There's
but
that.
I'm very grateful they didn't kill her. I was like, please don't.
Yeah, you can't kill off Catherine Hahn.
I feel like
They killed off Michael B. Jordan, okay?
I feel like she'll be the new Loki.
Loki. Oh,
Ooh.
she'll be the new Loki.
Yeah. Like in a sense, like she'll be the kind of villain character, but you still like her, sort of thing.
Right.
Oh.
Oh yeah. Those every single theme song or musical cue they've done, awesome.
Yeah, because wasn't it the same people who did like Frozen and stuff
Yep.
that did the music? So yeah, makes sense.
That was by far my favorite part of the show. All the Easter eggs and references too, because I watched Bewitched right after episode 1 or 2. I was like, yo, they got it like down to a T, identical. What was one of your favorites that you guys saw?
I mean, even though the first 2 episodes were much slower than the rest, I just liked the aesthetic of the old like 50s, 60s sitcoms. Like they really nailed it.
I gotta say, those are the most like rewatchable if you just want to watch an episode of a show.
Yeah, it's just its own show.
My favorite episode, not even an homage, is the penultimate episode. I thought that was sick. And it told you a lot about her past. And that scene of her family was very sweet.
Mm-hmm.
And it called back to the Age of Ultron scene
Oh yeah.
with the bomb.
Yeah.
I thought those cues were so cool because the commercials they tied into that as well. Because the first commercial with the toaster,
Yeah.
when it popped up, it had like the sound of the Iron Man armor pulser. And then it kept beeping and beeping and it wouldn't go off. That was sick. The symbolisms and metaphors and analogies were off the chain in those commercials. Like that weird cartoon one, Snack on Your Magic.
Oh, yeah.
Whoa.
It was 100% Agatha. I think they put a lot of thought in the show, and it worked out really well. I've read interviews with the showrunner. She said that like she had a lot of inspiration by like other shows who like fully went out there, like Legion. And I wish, partly, that they went more out there. Like they fully went in there.
Yeah, I think the first 2 episodes like made it seem like, oh, this is gonna get weird.
Yeah.
And then it did in some respects, but then I think since it was in the MCU, they could only go so far. Like, I think the MCU has great aspects to it, but I think that they have too much, like, they keep a lid on the creative aspects.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I just remember my favorite episode within this whole series would actually have to be the Malcolm in the Middle homage
Oh yeah.
one, the Halloween. Again, it was mostly a Quicksilver episode. And Evan Peters, actually, and I feel like he did nail it as, like, the cool uncle.
Yeah.
That's you. You got a little bit more of Billy and Tommy. Definitely something in there. It emphasized the idea that these two characters are important. And hello, Wiccan and
Speed.
what's his name? Feed?
Speed.
Feed.
Speed.
Wiccan and Feed. Oh, Speed. Okay, Speed. Sorry. But Speed.
Yeah.
And I feel like that this was like Elizabeth Olsen. I feel like I saw a little bit more of Mary Kate and Ashley in this episode than any of them. I don't know why.
No, you know why, bro. If I was her,
Of course I know why, but this specific episode.
if I was Elizabeth and we're doing an homage to 80s, 2000s, whatever, I'm gonna try to pay tribute to my sisters. So I thought they did that
Okay, fine.
really well.
What is Full House again? I'm sorry. That's goddamn.
Full House is the 80s,
80. It was the 80s or 90s.
late 80s, but Malcolm is 2000s. But I feel
Okay,
as
sure.
if they paid homage to that in both episodes.
Yeah, totally. I just like this one a lot more better. Yeah,
Yeah, no, I get what you mean, because there was a Halloween one and you got a lot of Pietro.
exactly.
Also the costumes.
Oh yeah, that too. Exactly.
It was awesome.
Marvel has a thing of just showing their comic side. They like bringing a little bit of the comic books to TV, to like, you know, the shows in TV, like in movies. I just remember that one time after watching Luke Cage, especially the part where he escapes the lab.
Yeah.
He had to, you know, he's trying to find clothes. He grabs some random junk from someone's clothing line, clothing hanger, whatever you want to call it, and then
He has the
all of a
drip.
sudden that's yep, a full afro and everything too.
Right.
I just like that. Jessica Jones.
Yeah, same there with that. Trish hands her the costume.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's very.
It's
yeah.
cute.
That's very evident here too, because they full out wear it.
Exactly.
That was so good, especially Vision, because that outfit in the comics is so goofy. It was the one time you could use it. Well, another anecdote of this I'd like to talk about is Billy and Tommy. I thought they were well casted because those actors are definitely coming back.
You think so? Do you think they'll age them up because they are like superheroes in the comics?
I think in real time they're gonna age. We watch them grow up. We're gonna watch them grow up more. You know what I mean?
Oh, I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't think they'll wait that long.
You know, Young Avengers is definitely coming.
Yeah, I know, but they're not gonna wait. I was like, Haley Steinfeld is gonna look old.
Right. Who knows? Who knows? What's our roster looking at now? You got Hawkeye, Haley Steinfeld, those two, Ironheart, Ms. Marvel. It's getting big. Stature, you know, Cassie Lang.
Oh, they're supposedly Patriot is in Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
This show is set up Phase 4 very evidently. It's pretty cool, and I can't wait for Doctor Strange 2.
I like the second end credit scene. It was cool,
Yeah.
like when she was doing all that weird stuff, magic stuff, and then like
She
it
astral
ga-
projected.
yeah, sure. But it gave me like some horror movie vibes.
That's one thing about this show I love, that they really evolved her power set and character. Because in the books, she's insane. She's like a god tier level character.
Yeah.
It's about time she's got her due diligence.
Yeah, exactly.
And I want you to leave.
But also, Vision was very well used in this.
Yeah.
From his dialogue, his quotes, his acting ability, Paul Bettany was fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, chef's kiss.
I'm a little concerned with what they're gonna do with White Vision. Since now I guess he has the memories back of Vision. Like, I don't know if they're gonna try to force him and Wanda to get back together, or I think it'd be cool if they had this like very complicated relationship where they're like they know each other, but in a more real sense they don't.
Well, in the comics, once he becomes a White Vision, they never get back together.
Okay, yeah, that's kind of what I hope happens. I don't want them to just get back together because
Yeah.
he's,
You know what this screams to me? This is very, and it might be like a negative to some, way too similar to what they're doing with Gamora right now.
Yes. Oh my
Oh,
God.
yeah.
I just had that conversation with somebody.
It's gonna be interesting how they try and make it different
yeah.
or the same. Who knows? But White Vision himself, it's kind of cool because it's the original Vision, but it's a different personality. There's a different id going on there. He just merely unlocked, gave access.
I don't know, I'm just interested to see what they'll do with his character. I hope the aspects of his character are like more complicated and nuanced, and it's not just Vision again,
I'm glad that Paul Bettany's still around, though.
Yeah.
That theory that it was going to be James Spader.
Oh yeah.
I was like, hello.
Yo, let's give props to our boy Paul Bettany. Especially that scene where he's like quote unquote drunk because he chewed gum. That was great. Acting.
Oh.
I love that they found a use to have his like real life looks on screen more. Like Paul Bettany look.
I did really enjoy that. I mean, Vision is obviously that robotic, not really monotone, but he explains things with Spock
Yeah.
tone, voice, and now all of a sudden we get you see him with a laughing track, and what is it? Yeah, he's great. No, I like him.
I thought that the
I
writing,
like the fact they use this.
they really paid attention to how they wrote Vision. Because they were like, yeah, you're right. Let's make him like Spock.
Yeah, you were going off about that Theseus conversation.
That conversation was very intellectually smart.
I agree, actually.
Yeah, you could tell in the room that they wrote this. They're like, yo, I'm tired of like these flying creatures shooting lasers and stuff. Let's do something else. And they're like, yo, it's about Vision. Bro, everyone loved his dialogue scenes in Age of Ultron. What did he say in Ultron? He said, Ultron said to him, you're incredibly naive. And then he says,
I was born yesterday.
what a line. You have to write Vision in such a way that's so, genius. Because if you don't, it's not true to the character. He's an android. He knows everything. Smart. So good. He fights with words. That reminded me of, Doctor Strange and his plan to, stop Dormammu from wreaking havoc.
Yeah, but I want to actually see like a legit battle between them now. I don't know.
You can have a battle, but then you can also have an intellectual battle. And the intellectual battles are cool because it's character development on its own. Like the scene where Wanda uses her smarts to beat Agatha with the spells. The runes.
Oh, yeah, the runes.
Cool. Loved it. What was really cool about the reveal of the White Vision stuff was the fact that Wanda literally recreated from her memory Vision just out of thin air.
Yeah, it's really cool. Just shows how powerful she is.
Yeah, we all thought that she revived the original Vision, but no, she made her own Vision.
Yeah.
From the memories of the piece of her.
I was like, grief is a powerful thing, my dude. People process in different ways. She makes a whole town, to each their own. Anybody deserves a Emmy or anything from the show, it's her.
Mm-hmm. Totally, actually, I agree.
Yeah, I was just about to say that.
I stole your thunder.
Yeah, awards typically have a bias towards this sort of stuff, but I don't think this can go unnoticed.
Yeah, definitely.
Really good stuff. Their acting is incredible.
They're able to transition from a sitcom show to a drama.
The cadence of the voice, the diction of it, the TV speak, the fact that these actors had to learn how to speak of that era for each individual episode. It's insane. And that ties really well with, the hair and wardrobe department, the costume department, the production design of this. It's ridiculous. This has Disney money written all over it. Highly entertaining. And at the same time, it delves into a little of the creepy aspects. Like, for instance, that final episode, I love that they brought back that move from Age of Ultron she does, where she's skipping around, teleporting with witch magic.
Wait, which one?
You know how in Age of Ultron, she creepily walks behind Captain America and then does the mind control thing?
Oh.
And
Yeah,
she does it to
okay.
Agatha.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was an amazing callback. Great stuff. Because that reveal in the end, when she goes full out with the entire costume getup, that was
Okay.
that was that was hot, yo.
I thought that the Halloween episode was the most we will get out of comic book Scarlet Witch, but no, they went full out that fight with Agatha and her. Oh, dude, that was
Yeah, that was.
and then the final costume reveal for the MCU Scarlet Witch,
That was so sick. But yeah, overall, final thoughts.
Remember, expect nothing when watching this, but expect a little bit of something,
Yeah.
but also nothing.
Yeah, I thought it was a solid show. It was a great start for Phase 4. Pacing was a little off at times, a little formulaic, but it was great character development for Wanda, which I think that's all that really matters. And Vision.
Emily, what are your thoughts?
I think the show was great. There are things, obviously, it's not a perfect show, but it's still very enjoyable. Lizzie Olsen, so hot. I just think this show made me fall in love with her even more. Her costume, she is the best dressed in the MCU.
Yeah.
Love her costume. Looks very similar, again, to Magneto's. Probably the same costume designer. I don't know, but I'm just saying.
Oh my god, you're right.
Oh my god. Put them side by side,
That's so
and you're like, holy shit. But it's a great show. Great kickoff. I'm excited for what's next.
Well, everyone, I'm going to rate this one a 9.5. What about you, John?
8.5.
What about you, Emily?
A 9. I'd be in the middle.
What about you, Ray?
9.5 out of 10.
Thanks, Ray. Yo. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we did it. We reviewed WandaVision, MCU's latest adventure, and we overall thought it was great. We want Marvel to continuously deliver more unique and variety of things like this. Stay tuned for our channel where we review all things in the pop culture world. Thanks for watching.
See you guys. Catch you next time.
Bye.
I'm not a witch. I don't cast spells. No one taught me magic.
Your power exceeds that of the Sorcerer Supreme.